Hello, hello, folks. We'll be getting started in just a moment. Just getting everything set up here. Totally not on time. Whoops. My bad. We are, we're just gonna roll with it, honestly. I can't make up the time that I was late, but I'm here now, and, you know, so let's see if I can get this pulled up. Goodness, goodness, goodness. So terribly late. My apologies. Oh gosh, now I'm unmuting and I'm a little flustered. I'm stumbling over my words. It's like, oh no. Oh no. It's alright. We're about to be good to go. Just getting the chat pulled up here. So I put that there, and hopefully that behaves itself. One would hope. One would hope it would be a pretty simple process. But yeah, I hope that everybody is doing well today. I hope that, oh, that did not take me where I needed it to. Oh, goodness. Here, this should do it. There we go. Found it. There we are. Awesome. That should be good. We should be good to go now. Yeah, I hope that everybody's doing well today. I know I am. I am certainly well rested, to say the very least. Oh my goodness. I was up so late last night. It's a problem. It's a problem. We'll talk about that in a second. Today is Friday. And, you know, even though we are starting, like, God, is it really 3 hours late? I refuse to believe it. I refuse to believe it. You know what? It's 2 p.m. somewhere, right? It's 2 p.m. somewhere. It'll be fine. Today's Friday, and that means I don't have to play XCOM today. That's right, we get to do something else, and I believe that my game of choice for today, I'm sure you can hear it in the background, that lovely, lovely menu music, is going to be Kerbal Space Program. And I've got it right here, all set up and ready to go. So, oh, I didn't really put this in the title, did I? Should I? Hold on, do I need to change her title? I might need to change her title. One moment. Because I like consistency. Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'll just say it right here and right now. This is going to be our career mode hard difficulty save that we've been doing. So let's go ahead and open this up right here, Scarlet Orbits. It's very lightly modded, right? Very lightly modded. Nothing that affects gameplay, just some visual mods. We've got Parallax running, and we've got, what's the other one? Eve? Something, it's called something like that. Environmental visual effects. Yeah, Eve, right down here. So that's about it. We're running that, and they're like they're dependencies, right? All installed through the CCAN system. That's pretty easy to do. So if that is something that you are interested in doing, I don't know if anybody is interested in mimicking our little mod list here, but it's easy enough to do. If you look up CCAN, that's CKAN. It's like a Kerbal Space Program, like modding tool. It's actually really easy to use. So yeah, that's just what's going on here. Our program, as you can tell, has been going for a little while. Let's go to the tracking station. Let's talk about what we've done so far. I kind of need to catch myself up. I've not played in a week. Not since we were last playing, but as I recall, the last time we were here, we did a successful Mun landing and return. which was a pretty big deal. I have not done that in many, many years. We managed to make a craft that could get to the Mun and back. It felt good. It felt really good to be able to do that. I was really pleased. So... yeah, that's basically the state of the program right now. Oh, we've got a flag. You can see here. Yeah, just to prove it. You know, we got the Munlander to land there. Pretty cool stuff. Evidently we have some debris scattered around. Some of this stuff is suborbital. And unfortunately, if it's not in our little reality bubble, I'm not sure that it's ever going to come down on its own. Maybe it will, just very, very slowly. Maybe. Should I delete some of this stuff, or do I leave it up? If it wants to come down, it'll come down. How about that? A little bit of Kessler syndrome never hurt anybody. Those definitely won't ever cause me any problems in the future. Ooh, a little choppy here. There we go, now it's loaded. So what are we doing today? Well, it should probably be relatively obvious. But in case it isn't, we have a contract to explore Minmus. And I believe our next chain of missions to be done, is going to be doing a bunch of, like, Minmus runs. So I think the first few of these are going to be pretty straightforward. A Mun rocket that is capable of, like, landing on the Mun should be pretty easy to modify so that it can go to Minmus and return, right? A Minmus landing is going to be a very different challenge, I think. I don't know, we'll kind of have to... I'll have to do some relearning here. I have played a lot of Kerbal Space Program. Well, a lot. I've played a fair amount of Kerbal Space Program in the past. I have not done too many, like, Minmus activities. Oh, is there not an I in it? Excuse me, it's just Minmus? I'm fixing the title. I'm fixing the title. You can't stop me. Is it gonna mess up the VOD? I don't know. It might mess it up on Twitch. And I'm also gonna add the career mode thing. Because I'm obsessive. No, I'm not gonna add career mode. Career mode's extra, right? It's pretty obvious when you get here. The Minmus project. There we go. That's much better. Now that it's actually spelled correctly. I could have sworn there was an I there. Like, Minimus. It's just how you pronounce it, right? Not Minmus. Well, apparently I'm just wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. In fact, it's kind of my default condition is to be wrong. So getting out there is going to be a bit of a project. But I don't think it's actually going to be terribly difficult. So I think we left ourselves with a whole ton of science to spend last time. This is the result of our hard work getting to the Mun and back. This 226.6 science here. And I think it's about time that we research basic science. I am in particular interested in getting the Science Junior. And you know what? Frankly, maybe we could definitely send, like, a single Kerbal out there, But what if we maybe got a scientist out there? What if we got a little tricky? Because how do you... I've never done this. Well, see, here are the bigger command modules is the thing. Maybe this is beyond our reach right now, and I shouldn't try it. It's probably beyond our reach right now. It's just very, very tempting to send up like a science junior, get a scientist Kerbal on the ship, and like run like a whole ton of science experiments. But I think that may be beyond our means right now. Like, we could do miniaturization. That's going to get us the EVA experiments kit. I believe what you do with this... I believe that what you do with the EVA experiments kit is you can use it as like a consumable, like a scientist Kerbal can use it, in order to reset an experiment, right? So normally, something like the Science Junior here, you do an experiment, and if you choose to keep or transmit the results, that's it. Right? That's all you get. And then that part is done. Let's go ahead and unlock this, and we'll see if we can put it to use reasonably. I mean, yeah, just go in and unlock the stuff, really. Are there any other... Are there any other parts that we want before we launch into this? If you wanted to go into, like, transmitting things, you want electrics, anyhow. So you'd need, like, electrics and miniaturization. You could maybe start, maybe you could devise some kind of way of getting a scientist up there. I don't know. I don't know, I tell you. Inline reaction wheel. Aviation. I would like to do some aviation later, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we sit on the scientist for now. Right now, we can't go up to the next tier. Anyhow. Not only is it very expensive, but also it is... we need an upgrade to our R&D center, which, as you can see, is very expensive. It's very, very pricey. So that's not within the realm of possibility today. That's alright. That's not a big problem to me. So let's go ahead and bring up the Munlander and the heavy launch system that we made last time. We're not going to be using the Munlander. We don't need a landing craft, but we can probably modify it into some kind of ship to pass by, like a flyby ship, pretty easily. So you definitely don't need the landing gear anymore. You can ditch that. We're kind of up against our weight limit. You've got a heat shield in here. Can you just slip one of these in here? We're so close to our weight limit. But that looks okay, though. Honestly, this just may be what we use. This could just be what we do here. I don't think that any of this stuff ended up being recoverable, so I'm gonna just strip off the parachutes. I'll save us some parts and a little bit of weight too. So overall, our delta V should be very similar. I think my main concern is going to be the re-entry process for this pod. Is this pod too long to make a safe re-entry? It should probably be okay. I would think that we would be okay. It is heavier. In the grand scheme of things, how much heavier? This is like 0.75 tons. How much is all that science equipment? 0.8, 0.9. And the chute. This is a 1-ton pod, basically. There's a... compared to the landing gear. So it is a little bit heavier. It is a bit heavier, right? Do you want to add a couple extra chutes on in order to make sure that you get down safely? Or do you think that this is still good enough? Because once this pod is up there, and especially once we begin the deorbiting process, you don't get to walk this back. Again, this is hard difficulty. We don't get to, like, revert flight and fix it. So once this thing is, like, up there, like, it's coming down one way or the other. We definitely are going to have enough fuel to get there and back, because this heavy launch system, along with the... This is no longer going to be a Munlander, this is a... scientific flyby craft, maybe? Right? Because this is not built for landing. This is just meant to fly by, grab a little bit of science, you know, run a full suite of experiments and come home, right? Minecraft. Okay. And I'll just remember what the heavy launch system's rated for. Like, it can get us... Hello, skeleton! Hello, hello! Oh, thank you. And yes, a boop for you as you come in. Welcome! Welcome, welcome. Oh, I'm glad we're not up, too terribly late for you just yet. So sorry about that. I was, It's a story. It's a story. But how are you doing? I hope that you're doing well. We are right now just putting a bit of work into getting ready for a Minmus flyby. And I think this could definitely fly by Minmus. This could fly by Minmus. I'm just not sure if we can get through our own atmosphere safely. I'm gonna choose to believe that we can. Oh, you're eepy. It is late for you. That is true. It's 10:55 where you are? Oh, goodness. Well, I completely understand if you can only drop in. There is, of course, absolutely no pressure to stay. I am, after all, the one that was so late. Goodness gracious. Um, I'm a little bit of an idiot. I've got it. Full disclosure. um, Goodness, I was. It's embarrassing. I don't even have a good reason. I just. You know, sometimes you just stay up late talking to somebody, right? Really, really late. And you ruin your own sleep schedule because of it. You know? Sometimes these things happen. Is about what happens. Yeah. Yes. That's about the appropriate reaction. Oh, what's up? Oh, you've got the Black Ops 2? Is that working for you? How's that been? Ooh, good, good, good. Do I want... I don't know. I'm afraid, is what I am, is the problem. I'm afraid. I'm a coward. Where is... Let me do a little bit of math. Because I know that we can't, like... Okay, no, we can probably do it. There was an incident in another save. A little bit by the wire there, huh, Skeleton? Well, I'm glad you were able to get it. In another save, we had an incident where I had a pod that was just too large, maybe too long. I'm not entirely sure what the problem was with it. Probably a combination of the two. I tried to deorbit it. It was a passenger ship, and it had two of these crew cabins, and it flipped around mid-re-entry, and everybody on board died, except the pilot, who was able to bail. And I'm trying to avoid making the same mistake, but I think that this is manageable. I think this is within what is safe to try and land with. So I think we're gonna do this. I think this is our craft. We've got a dumb acronym for it. It's fine. Staging looks okay. Before we launch this, okay, good. The altitude's already preset. So we're doing a higher than the default altitude for the parachute deployment, which I think will be especially important given this craft is a little bit heavier too. It'll take a little bit longer to slow down. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you might stream, is that... Oh, Black Ops 2 tomorrow, though, or maybe Monday? Family party stuff this weekend? Well, I hope that the party and the stream goes well. I hope that stuff goes well for you. If I'm not too busy this weekend, I may have to drop in to the stream, not to the family party stuff. That would be a little bit weird. That would be a little bit unusual, to be sure. Okay, I'm not sure why I opened that. I just like playing with things. So we should be... We don't have the protective shell. We aren't carrying our passengers. I just want to find... Yeah, we've got one job. We're going to fly by the mun, and we are going to gather and return with scientific data. We're not going to be doing any kind of transmission. The goal is just to get to the mun and come back. Oh, thank you, Skeleton. That's very sweet of you. Alright. This should be a pretty typical launch for us. I'm about a week rusty, so well, let's hope I don't mess up this pretty basic part of this. There we go. This first part's pretty slow, but that's by design. We know that this initial stage will slowly but surely burn us through the lower atmosphere. So yeah, now we're picking up some good speed. So nice, just a nice steady burn. Get through this thick lower atmosphere so that we can burn the rest of our rockets efficiently. That's about all there is to it. Bring up my maneuver nodes just so I can keep an eye on them. Should I try a gravity burn? I should try a gravity burn. The craft is unresponsive. Never mind. The craft does not want to gravity burn, actually, as it turns out. Let's get a light on there. We're launching on the dark side, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see. But that's okay. These things happen. Burning a little bit the wrong direction now, probably as a result of the failed gravity burn. Gravity turn. I think it's a gravity turn, not a gravity burn, but... Okay, I think we're intact. A little hard to tell. I think that was just the other things colliding with each other. And we are just gonna try and slowly... Well, I mean, we can probably do it in a pretty extreme fashion, honestly. Like, point us at 90 degrees. We're now in the upper atmosphere. So there's not a whole lot of resistance that is going to cause us to flip over. And I'm just going to slowly burn so that the apoapsis goes up and we are turning so that we're doing this a little bit more efficiently because we have to burn sideways too in order to get our orbit, right? Nothing too complicated here. Probably could go even more extreme than this, maybe like 30. There we go, something like this. Once we get down to about 20 seconds on the time to reach, I'm gonna burn it up a little bit, actually. I'm a little worried. Our apoapsis is not that high yet. Looks like we're holding pretty steady here. That's good. That's what we want. We downscale that a little bit. And it does look like we're going to be okay on the apoapsis, so bring our burn angle down a little bit. We've still got a lot of sideways burning to go. That's where most of our fuel is going to go here. Yeah, go prograde. Come on. Ooh, it's gonna be close. But I think we're gonna be okay. We may overshoot the apoapsis very slightly. but I don't think we're gonna really re-enter the atmosphere, which is the important part. Like, we've got a very flat approach here, so that looks good. Bring it down. Perfect. Wow, actually, that was really good. That might be the best we've done. That is almost circular. Goodness. Okay. That doesn't happen to me every day, actually. So, you can probably take off the SAS, and... Alright. Well, now we have to figure out how we want to get to Minmus. And I think we can probably just attempt a straight shot to it. I don't think we need to, like, do some kind of, like, gravity assist on the off the mun. That sounds A, difficult, and B, like, it could more readily turn into a disaster than anything else. Though, if we see an opportunity, maybe we'll do it, right? Cool. So, somewhere around there. Oh, no. No, stop. Just delete the maneuver. Start over. I pulled the wrong tab. No. One complaint, minor as it may be, these little buttons can be a bit small, I think. Like here, let me grab this. Oh, there it is. There we are. There is not very much. No, that's the mun. That's the mun, you idiot. Why did you burn for that? Well, although... You see, you could do that. And that's a mun burn. That costs you about 800 thingamabobs. And that... Oh, you could... It's very, very slim, but I see it. I saw it. There it is. There's a Minmus encounter at the end of this. Never mind, we're gonna do a... I think this can turn into a slingshot. What's your periapsis here, theoretically? Oh. It's gonna be a long haul. 17 days. But that's a Minmus encounter. That gets us all the way to Minmus for so little. Only 862 Delta V. That's really, really good, actually. Sure, why not? That feels like it's going to be better than the alternative. Why not? Then we can fly by Minmus. We fly by Minmus. We don't even need to orbit it. We don't need to slow down. We just need to be briefly captured. And then we can use Minmus, hopefully, to fling us back into Kerbal. And maybe we can do like a super efficient... I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So where's my node? All the way over here. It's actually behind us now. So that's okay. That's alright. Why don't we warp forward? I have high hopes for this mission. I was just saying too, no, we're not gonna do any kind of... We're not gonna do any kind of, like, gravity assist off the mun. That'd be complicated. And then I just found it by mistake. Alright, let's get ourselves lined up. I know the node's over here, but that's just because we haven't actually reached the maneuver node yet. It's gonna slowly come in and line up with us. So we just need to start the burn on time. I probably am not gonna get this picture perfect, right? Because I have to do this manually. Although it's moments like these that make me kind of want to install MechGem, where you can like set up your maneuvers and like kind of automate them a bit. That could be interesting. That could be interesting. So we're just gonna wait for that node to hit, and we're gonna set up our burn time. We might start burning ever so slightly before we hit the node, just to give ourselves a little bit of margin of error. Oh, hello, skeleton. Oh, you got stew? Oh, pardon me. That was, I don't know what that was. Oh, burn. But what's up? Oh, yes, that is something that I was, aware of. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Does that look not quite right? That's not quite what we were going for. Periapsis is a little low. Do you try and correct that here? Yeah, I had heard about that. Terrible stuff, really. I mean, just a terrible policy decision, just at all levels. But hey, that's what happens when you're high on the xenophobia. Fuck. God. Come on, just tap it forward. I may just correct this later. I may have to correct this. I think it's just going to be too sensitive at this point. Let's just correct it so that there's no Kerbal escape that's going to happen. Let's correct it so there's no Kerbal escape, and then we'll fix it maybe after we pass by the Mun or something. We'll test for some more... Yeah. I want to get it closer. It's fine. Stop it. We'll fix it later. That is overall, I'd say, pretty successful without any kind of automation. So there we are. We're gonna pass by the Mun. Yeah, we're not gonna crash into it. Let's just get going. We're on our way now. Let's see while we're here. What? No. If there's another way for me to maybe plan out this this maneuver that I was looking for. Like, there it is. It's like it's such a small target. The problem with Minmus, like, look at that. We're so incredibly close. It takes, like, nothing. My engine's too big. I need RCS to do this burn. I would literally need RCS to pull off this burn. That's so small. It only gets smaller the further out we are. Like, it would be so easy to correct, but... Like, see? Oh, well, that's just gonna time warp me to it, but that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Why am I trying? We're just gonna overcorrect. No, no, stop it. Quit. Well, now there's something. That's something that we might be able to do. That's a flyby and a Kerbal return. We found it. We found what we want, actually. This is what we've been going for. That does, at the current angle, crash into... There we go. That's better. Is it? What's your periapsis? What's their periapsis? I just don't want to crash into the thing. It's so close. This is 16, basically 17,000 meter periapsis over Minmus. That's insane. You can get close. It doesn't have an atmosphere. And so the reason we're having so much trouble hitting Minmus, as opposed to the Mun or Kerbal, is because it's so small. It has so little gravity. Like, you have to get both incredibly close and very slow in order to actually be picked up by the thing for a flyby. Yeah, I mean, this looks more doable, though. This looks more feasible. So, we will get to that maneuver in due time. We're gonna fly by the Mun, so it'll lag for a little bit when we cross this Mun encounter line as it recalculates. Scarlet could be in trouble. Maybe. I don't think we're gonna crash land on Minmus. Probably not, right? We'll do our best to avoid it. Let's see. This isn't our Mun encounter. I got a news flash for you. We've got to go around one more time. We've got to go around one more time. There we are. Now this is our Mun encounter. I was like, where is it? Where's the Mun? It's right here. We needed to wait a little bit. So now this is gonna work. I think the UK would help more considering how we made lots of stuff for them during the war. Nah, they have no gratitude for anything, really. Just so long as they get theirs. Unfortunately. You would hope so, certainly. So, hello Mun. How are ya? Need any EVAs from out here? No. We did a ton of that earlier. I don't think we have any experiments to do here. I mean, the Science Junior, because we just unlocked it, but not this time. Goodbye, Mun. Nice talking to you. Cool. Now here's our big moment coming up over here. Let's warp forward. This should still give us plenty of time to correct. This is going to be a pretty small and precise burn, which is not what this engine is good for, unfortunately. This engine's going to be great when we get home, right? We're going to have so much fuel. It's just... you know, this engine was not built for precision maneuvering. Let's see. Hereabouts. Probably even a little lower because we're going to be lining up here. There. It will do. I'm going to have to tap this in, but this is a cool maneuver though. I like this. I'm a fan of the concept. It's like we are saving so much fuel, not just directly burning for Minmus, I think, and then using Minmus, the flyby, to drop us back off at Kerbal. Like, this whole maneuver, even with my minor little corrections, is only gonna take us, like, somewhere around 900 Delta V, which is only 100 more Delta V than what it takes to reach the Mun. Like, it's kind of insane. Alright. T minus 30 seconds. That's enough time for a sip of coffee. So, I've got a project for this weekend. It's a very important project. It's fixing my damn sleep schedule. And it's gonna be difficult. It's not gonna be easy. We're basically on top of the node. It is not going to be an easy project, but I will be doing my very best. Okay, that just looked spooky, but it's fine. That ain't bad. Now hold on, that ain't bad. Is this gonna work? Where's my periapsis? Where's the real periapsis? Get rid of this. Higher. Actually. Considerably higher. That's much less dangerous as far as flybys go. Alright. That works. I like that. Don't mind the eccentric angle here. It just happens. Don't worry about it. We've got so much fuel left. Good. Alrighty. Slash. I am curious. This is still high over Kerbal. What about out here beyond the Minmus orbit? Does this still count as high over Kerbal? Because if not, I would be very happy to do some tests out here. Nope, still high over Kerbal. That's fine. Just double check with one of our experiments. Yep. Cool, cool, cool. Very well then. No, I don't need this. What is this? Get rid of it. It scares me. Oh, you have a good night, Skeleton. Thank you so much for dropping in. Hopefully next week. Hopefully next week we'll be able to be online more when you're awake. My bad. My bad. I hope you have a lovely night. That's a spooky looking curve. But it does say that my periapsis is fine, so... Folks, welcome to Minmus. I feel like there should be, like, fireworks. Imagine Kerbal 2 player. I'm pretty sure there are multiplayer mods for it, right? First flyby has been initiated. There we go. A race to see who can colonize planets fastest or do the most contracts successfully. Oh, like a competitive thing? That would be something. I could imagine some fascinating acts of sabotage for sure. But, alright. Welcome to Minmus. This is what we've come here for. Do we want to report while we're high over the planet? Yes, because we're probably going to have to come back and do an orbit that'll be low. A lot of these experiments are going to be repeatable. Those are the repeatables. Yeah, I think we do our high over. Minmus experiments right now. And we save the low over for another pass. Close the doors. Then we've just got EVAs to do. EVAs and actually, there's one more. We need to collect the science from the repeatable ones. So take data. Take data. Those at least we can repeat the whole way. Kerbal bombers would be used to take out runaways and ships on launch. Yeah. It would get violent fast, I'm sure, depending on the players. Let's warp in. It's a pretty little planet. I mean, it's not a planet, it's a moon. Why did I say planet? It's a pretty little astral body. You know, that can't be denied. There it is. A little ball of ice cream, right? We'll be going down there for a scoop probably sometime today, I expect. Let's see, is this a low? No, this is still space high over Minmus. Maybe we need an orbit? Or maybe Minmus just requires you to be super, super low to the ground. Huh. Review stored data. Yeah. Well, okay. What about you? Can you grab something? Still high over Minmus. I guess we don't have an orbit, so it's not gonna let us, right? That or we just aren't low enough. Maybe under 50k it doesn't count as being low. That could make sense. That could. It's alright, it happens. Well, I mean, maybe to be a little anticlimactic for now, but I think we're ready to pass on by. That'll drop us back off over here, and we're going to be able to re-enter, I think, pretty seamlessly. Here we go. Back to Kerbal. Alrighty. So I am just going to let us drop down to our periapsis. It's gonna take a while. That's 7 days. Okay. I guess a lot is gonna happen in that time. That's alright. Just so long as we miss the mun, right? And it looks like we're going to. That's important. Hey, what are you doing? Why? I said warp here. Well... Well, that's only gonna add to my trust issues. Looks like we're going around again, huh? Another world first, we escaped the gravitational influence of a Minmus. Do I want to conduct a little burn while I'm out here? I kinda do. I kind of want to do a little retrograde burn while I'm here. I don't need the maneuver node for this. I just kind of wanted to check something. Take us retrograde. This is a good opportunity for us to lower the periapsis a bit. It's still extremely high. This is not an attempt at re-entry. This is just an attempt to burn efficiently. So definitely you're bringing this down out of the atmosphere. I mean, you know, you're going to be well outside the atmosphere still. Maybe 100k. There you go. That'll be fine. Just while you've got the opportunity. And then you're going to warp back. Oh, poor Jeb's been stuck out here for over a month. Space travel takes a long time, as it turns out. Okay. Cancel your time warp. I'm doing it manually from here on for this mission. I don't know why we overshot it last time, but that was unfortunate. Yeah, like, this says, like, time 18 days away, but, like, we're only 1 hour from the periapsis? I don't get what's up with that. That's a little weird. Hello, Space Center. So we should have plenty of fuel to make this approach work for us. Do I have my repeatables done for out here, by the way? I do. I do. Okay. I think there's a mod that automatically lets you know when you have science experiments that you can do for an area. Given how much I've been fiddling around with trying to test for different biomes and trying to remember... hello. Commercial orbital passenger escort debris. How are you? I may install that mod for next time, honestly. It seems convenient. Just to have, like, a list and, like, knowing what biome you are for the purpose of different experiments. Seems kind of good. Alrighty. Let's go to 10 times speed. And let's start rotating. We need to go retrograde. This rocket takes a little bit of time to turn around. It is pretty big. It is a pretty big rocket. It takes some time to get flipped around. We're gonna be doing this on the dark side again. Great, amazing. Love not being able to see. One of my favorite things. And if we're roughly in position, maybe we go to 5 times until we've got like a minute. Well, it's a pretty long burn, isn't it? Just maybe do it slowly out this far. I mean, maybe it's not such a long burn. A little bit goes a long way. Hello, Mun. Would I like to correct my Is this rotation? My axes? Would that be a good idea? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about a lot of things. Probably gonna be able to burn off the rest of this fuel, though. Go down to our next stage. So, I mean, we had tons of fuel. This may have been excessive. No, looks like now I'm dropping into the atmosphere. Do I want to let that happen? Because if I come around over here... If I can drop this down, I can land closer to the Space Center and save some money. Because the closer to the Space Center you land, the better your recovery is going to be. And we're only, like, scraping the atmosphere. This is not a big deal. Yeah. That'll be okay. Get a bit closer. We'll ditch this stage in a little bit, and we'll try and re-enter on like this angle and kind of target this continent for a landing. Or thereabouts. You know, as close to the center as we can get, right? Such a weird orbital pattern. It's alright, it happens. Happens to the best of us. Especially when you're doing so many, like, gravity assists and stuff. No, I messed this up, didn't I? It's fine. You're out of fuel on this stage now. Why aren't we ditching when I hit spacebar? What's wrong? There we go. Oh well. It's just a little bit of money. Let's go for the landing now. Retrograde burn. Surface facing. Brings down. A little sloppy, but we've definitely got the fuel to make this happen. Let's see, save a little bit for when we start descending. Go. Hopefully that works. If it doesn't, my bad. If it doesn't, whoops. But the heat shield, go away. Leave. Depart. Shoo. So long as we don't flip around, we should be just fine, I think. Entering at a bit of a steep angle, but... when we hit that lower atmosphere, we should stop pretty quick. We're already slowing down really fast. This should be okay. Looks like we're going to be coming down into the water. That's okay. Yeah, this looks okay. All right. Looking good. No complaints here from me. Just a bit dark is all, really. Got the sun coming up though, that helps. Come on, shoot, deploy. Please work. It's set for 2,000 meters any second now. There we go. There we go. And looks like our descent speed is okay. We should be pretty stable up here. Let's see if we need... Yep. We do need an EVA report from flying over the grasslands, so we'll snatch that up while we're here. And we'll just drift on down as the sun rises and our debris blows up nearby. Pretty clean work, I'd say. If I do say so myself, that is. Where's the sun rising? Is it over there? It might be over there. It's hard to tell. And it looks like we're going to be on land after all. And there we go. A successful touchdown. Do we need a report here? I doubt it. Yep, no, we don't. Alright. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. But beyond that being pretty, that is... Yep, we returned home from a flyby of Minmus, and when we recover the vessel, that should net us a good chunk of science and a contract completion, which I'm going to be quite happy to see. When it loads. When it loads. Slowly but surely. There we are. 114.4 science earned. That's really good stuff. You'll love to see it. And that is just all, like, space high over Minmus stuff, too. We've still got way more to do there. Not a very good refund, but that's okay. That's alright. And Jeb goes up to level 2. Ooh, I wonder what that's gonna get us. I wonder. Most importantly, though, that's another contract complete. To explore Minmus. Which means a lot more money in our pocket and a new one here. Oh. Okay. Apparently now they want me to rendezvous around the Mun. Um... Okay. This could be an opportunity, actually. This could be an opportunity. What if we set up a Mun station? Because right now, all I would do with, like, a rendezvous is, like, what we did the last time around Kerbal, where we launched, like, a passenger vessel, and then another vessel with, like, no cargo and just a ton of fuel, and we rendezvoused them, quote-unquote, but there was really no benefit besides completing the contract. It was just like a challenge thing. Do we have the science? I wonder. I mean, we could also still just do that with like tourist missions, right? But do we have the science, I wonder? Maybe we could make like a Mun station. That could be cool. Like make a Mun station and then like fly like then you could like fly people out to it. Maybe. Maybe that could work. So what do you need for a space station? I would say that you need some solar panels. These are some pretty bad solar panels. They're pretty small. But it would help. I mean, that's really all you need. And docking. That's the other thing. You need a docking port. Can we unlock that? We can't. We can't, actually. No docking. No space stations yet. Because even though we have the science proboid to get it, not by much, just barely. We wouldn't be able to afford electrics then. But we don't have the level of our R&D, so that's just not going to work. That's okay. That's alright. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. We'll figure something else out. Is there anything that we do want to send over? Like in particular? I'm eyeing propulsion systems here. The ability to create like a little drone is very tempting to me. Does that help with our current mission? I don't know that it does. It would be very cute though. Like make a little probe. You could maybe send a little probe with a transmitter down to the Mun. But then, I mean, your scientific equipment is going to weigh so much. Like, that doesn't seem very practical to me. Because, like, we could do the rendezvous with probes. Maybe. So, because we have radio signal out that far, we could maintain craft control through that. And that might be cheaper. That might be cheaper, but we can probably pay for the mission through tourism. So we're probably just going to end up doing the same thing we did last time, right? I think we already have craft that are capable of it, too. Alright. Alright, fine. Fine. So we need to rendezvous around the Mun, right? That's the job. Ugh, this VIP wants to land on the Mun? Your funeral, buddy. See, now they're putting Minmus flybys in their tourism lists. It's like, nah, buddy, that ain't happening right now. That ain't for this mission. Okay, you've got one person here, a VIP that wants to fly by the Mun. That's probably just about all you're gonna get right now based on our current contracts. This is a pretty straightforward mission. Do you want to pick this one up? Maybe? Because this is all, like, Kerbal orbit, basically. They just want to orbit Kerbal. That's pretty easy. And you have to orbit Kerbal in order to get anywhere else. So... maybe? Yeah, maybe we take this contract while it's available. You got a lot of time left on a lot of these things, so I'm not overly flummoxed about getting them done immediately. Though maybe we should take a moment to do some of these prototype tests. We probably should. Here. So, good job. This thing can definitely get us printed for Mun/Minmus. Just to make a note so that we remember for the future. Just make a new thing. Nope, that's open. New. And we're just going to do some little field tests here. So first and foremost, you want... where is it? You want this thing. This is one of our prototypes we're supposed to test. Good for it. What else? What else are we supposed to do? Airstream shell, skipper, liquid engine. This thing? It's kind of big, but sure. Let's hook that up. It'll need a little bit of fuel in order to fire, I believe, so let's give it a small fuel tank. We're not going to actually take off with it. We're just going to activate it through staging, and then they want us to test a Juno basic jet engine in flight over Kerbal. That'll wait. That's not going to happen right now. So just go ahead and launch this. And this is free money, right? Just knock these contracts out while we're here. Okay. So we gotta activate them through staging. 1, 2. Remarkable. Good job. Good job, everybody. We definitely have these, right? Yeah. Cool. Let's go. Pure profit. Just want to knock those out, you know, while we're thinking about them, because apparently our space flights are taking a really long time to do now. So you don't want those to expire and fail while we're out doing like Minmus flybys and stuff. There we are. That's about 11,000 bucks now in our pocket. A couple more points of science and reputation. Nothing much, but it's a quick chore to get done. go to unlimited weight. I don't think that's a good use of our money right now. Unlimited contracts, definitely not. What about strategies? What are we running right now? So we're reducing our reputation gains in order to get more funding. I think that's okay. That's fine by me. Is there anything else we would want to run in the long run? No, not patents licensing. Science is too important. Unpaid research program. The unpaid interns. That could be funny. That could be a good bit. I don't know. Here's... now that's interesting. The Leadership Initiative. I hadn't looked at this one before. If we focus our efforts on consistently pushing our own space program forward, we can drum up more public interest. We will need to put a few contracts on the back burner, so we may have to start selling research rights to academic community to save a solvent. So... this deprioritizes contracts, but gives us more from just going out and doing things. I like contracts, though. Contracts are fun. Maybe that's not for me. I don't want to give up science, though. Bailout's an emergency thing. Don't look at that. Recovery transponder fitting. Nah. Doesn't seem worth the setup cost. Aggressive negotiations could be an interesting, like, help us fix our facility button in the event that I accidentally blow up a building or something, which is possible. Difficult to do, but possible. No, I don't think that there's anything here that I really want, except maybe unpaid research program. But the better our reputation gets, the better contracts we're gonna get. And I'm already giving up some of my reputation gains for additional funding. So... I think we're fine. You know, I don't think that we need to go particularly hard on anything right now. I think we can just hold our money. Don't need to go really too deep into strategies, probably. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. So, in that case, I know we're sitting on a ton of science. It's just right now we don't need it. Get this thing out of here. What's the plan? We need to do a rendezvous. We need to do a rendezvous around the month. So I think what you're probably gonna do is you're probably just gonna launch a passenger ship there. This thing's so dumb. But apparently it works. We've sent missions with this before, right? It works. You could probably retire this system. But though I think it's cheaper than the heavy launch system, isn't it? Let's check. Yeah, considerably, actually. Way cheaper. So you know what? If it works, it works. If this works, it works. So what we're going to do is we're just going to launch this. We're going to launch a commercial flight out there. Who are our lucky tourists today? Only one. Hadbart. Hadbart wants to go. Well, you can send Rhodos. They want an orbit around Kerbal. It would work. It would work. It's extra weight, though. It is extra weight. I mean, not that that really matters necessarily. It's not like, I mean, this thing can definitely handle 2 passengers. I just kind of feel bad messing up, like doing half the contract, not the other half. Nah, just send Hadbart. Just send Hadbart. We'll get somebody else to take these 2 up another time, maybe. Sure. Sure. Alright. So Jeb's gonna go ahead and take Hadbart up, right? Actually, no. Valentina's gonna take Hadbart up. I wanna do some tests with Jeb. And see, yeah, we can do like radial holds now, is what it's telling me in the effects of the level here. So that may be useful for actually making the rendezvous. I'm gonna have Jeb pilot the rendezvous craft. So this looks okay. Is your parachute set? It isn't, so let's change that in your design, just for the future. We may launch this thing more often, after all, for Mun tourism. And we're gonna get this thing to the Mun, we're gonna put it in an orbit, and we're gonna leave it there. Alright, and then we're gonna launch another ship to rendezvous with it. Okay. That's the plan. It's a great plan, I assure you. Okay. Let's go. This thing is like half the price of the heavy launch system. So that's good. Will this Mun tourism pay for the mission? I don't know. But it'll help, right? It's better than nothing. It's better than a pure loss. Do I want to send scientific equipment on the other ship? Yes. Yes, I do. I think what I'm going to do for the other one, because it had so much leftover fuel, is I'm probably going to send the flyby ship. Is probably what we're going to plan on. Alright, we're moving quick. Let's throttle up a bit. Fix that staging a little, so that we make sure to clear these engines. Again, launching in the night. Oops. And attempt to jump. Attempt being the operative word. I mean, it looks good so far. We aren't, like, spinning out. So probably just keep going for an increasingly extreme angle. Oh, it's fighting me now a little bit. Hold on, keep going. Like 10 degrees. Maybe. Still going to result in a pretty high apoapsis by comparison. It should be okay. It should be okay. Not overly concerned. just do a sideways burn. We are now due to exit the atmosphere. We just need to burn sideways now and get into an orbit. And that's going to be a-okay. So Adbar here is going to get a little bit more than he paid for. He's going to get an orbit, not just a flyby. It's kind of like if you got on a commercial flight and they were like, yeah, you paid to go, like, I don't know, to London. But we got a special treat for you today. And they instead took you, let's wait until we get closer to the apoapsis. Instead they were like, yeah, but instead we're going all the way to Tokyo. And you're like, but I've got a business meeting, I need to, and they're like, Tokyo, we're going. Yeah, it's gonna be a much longer trip, but it's okay. It's okay, the flight's on us. Let's warp forward. Get a little closer to our apoapsis so that our orbit doesn't get too screwed up here. Prograde? You can just do this real slow, actually. We're holding steady with our apoapsis. Maybe not a perfect circle this time around, but it ain't gonna be too terribly bad. Get a little closer. 10 seconds should be fine. Yeah, because look how far we're able to burn it out, actually. It's not taking a whole lot of effort right now. There we go. Another splendid orbit. Cool. And now we gotta go to the mud. So that's gonna be probably somewhere around here. Not that much. A little bit more. That's not terrible. That'll get us a nice flyby. We slow down around that periapsis and we make that into an orbit. That's not bad. That periapsis is a crash. Maybe pull it back a little bit. Okay, so I mean somewhere around here. That should be good. So let's go ahead and warp to that. And we'll get that burn done. What a nice game. It's just relaxing. And it makes me feel clever sometimes too, which is nice. Makes me feel clever. And only occasionally very dumb, which is an improvement over XCOM, I think, some of the time. 1 minute till our burn. That's a chance for another sip of coffee. We can speed this up just a little bit. Alright, line us up, and when it looks steady, that looks good. I'm just going to go ahead and start the burn. This is going to be a lot of our fuel, which is concerning. Are we sure this thing gets to the moon reliably? No, that looks fine. If we have to evacuate the craft, that's too high. Yeah, just go for the orbit as planned. 27,000? That should be fine. It has no atmosphere. So it's going to be real low. Do you want to get that low? Make it a little higher. What's wrong? Why is it not? Now that's too low. It's getting lower. Nope, nope, nope. Something's off. We gotta fix this. There, that'll do. That'll do, that'll do. And then we set ourselves out here. Now this will count for the flyby. Let's see, when this warp stops, there we are. Let's plan our next maneuver. This should be pretty simple. You just burn retrograde here, and you get an orbit. That ain't too bad. You probably want a more circular orbit so that you're a good target. Yeah, we can do that manually. It doesn't look like it's going to take heaps of fuel. We've got about we're probably going to have about 500 meters per second of delta V to escape and get home, which is dicey, but we've done it before. That's doable. Mun escape at this point is not too difficult. We can pull something off. We can find a suitable maneuver to drop us back off pretty close by. Cool. That's weird. That's a fascinating escape. So the escape tosses us all the way out here. We fall back, we get recaptured, and we go back in? And that probably drops us back into a decent... what? I don't know. Probably roughly the same thing based on that position. No, or maybe you fall back towards Kerbal. That would not actually be too bad if we were only going for a flyby and no rendezvous. It would be a pretty long process. Like, that's a couple months to pull that off. That is not what we're going to go for. But that is interesting. So do not pass this burn window. Cool. Bring us in. Retrograde. We've got 7 minutes. Hello, Mun. we're over the dark side again. We just keep hitting these dark sides. They aren't very you can't see anything. A little unfortunate, but so it goes. Okay. Alright, we're now sub 1 minute. I don't know exactly how long this is gonna take to burn. So let's go ahead and start at 40 seconds out and see how it goes. Because again, we do want to be efficient. We do want to be efficient. 20 seconds should do. We can overshoot a little if necessary. Right? That's not getting too greedy. Because the closer we get, the better this is going to be. Yeah, do it. Whoa. Fascinating. Ignore the purple line. The important one is the blue one. Now, that ain't too bad. Bring that down so you're roughly circular. Okay, at this point, if you burn any closer, you might not have enough to escape. And then we've got a tourist here, so we don't want to actually strand the tourist. Jeb we could come back and pick up. Jeb we could save. So if you were to go like a sideways burn out, how much would that take? There's like some crazy escape maneuver. That ain't terrible. I'm just budgeting right now. Like, how much does it take to actually get home? So this leaves us with not a lot, so you probably have to burn from out here. You've got about 300 meters per second. We can get home. Cool. It's going to be a pretty violent re-entry, but you can get home from here, actually. You've got enough fuel. You probably don't burn any more than this, though. You probably have to call that good for now. So, Valentina, I think this is your first time around the Mun, isn't it? You want to go out and do a little EVA? Yeah, pretty cool. This is high over the Mun. Is that going to work for the contract? In orbit of the Mun. Yeah, that should work. And if it doesn't, we'll be upset. So we're done here for now. That's all we gotta do. That's it. Now we need to launch the other craft. This one is going to need more fuel in order to properly make the intercept happen, but it shouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I hope. Plant a flag on the Mun. Yeah, we're gonna return to the Mun at some point, so sure, take that contract. Plant a flag on Minmus. Ooh. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do that eventually. How long does this last? 13 years almost? Okay, yeah, we'll definitely get that done. So we get some more money in the form of advances on that and some cool contracts to do later. And we got a parachute test here that's pretty easy. We may do this accidentally even. This is our main chute that we usually use. So I'll take that contract too while we're here. Cool. And now for part 2 of our little project. So Mun Commercial Orbital Passenger Escort, thank you for your service. We'll be rendezvousing with you soon. But this time we're gonna send this craft. We need more fuel available in order to actually make the rendezvous happen, right? I want plenty of wiggle room, because this thing has to line up with and slow down to match the orbit of the target that we've set. I would also be very happy to take some scientific equipment along, so we're gonna plan on doing that. And that's it, really. This thing can definitely reach the Mun and get the orbit. And come home and do all of that, so I don't think we need to make any changes. I think we just go, alright? Yeah. I like having like this little roster, this little stable of like rocket designs where it's like I know their capabilities, I know where I can send them and what they're able to do while they're there. And instead of like having to purpose build. Ooh. Cool. So now we can have Jeb go and point the other directions for us. That's going to be very helpful, especially on this mission, I feel. So, without further ado, let's get started. Throttle up so that we can clear our own boosters later. For now, off we go. I love those smoke plumes. Don't those have like a special name or something? I don't know. I'm not that much of a science nerd, unfortunately, that I know that. I just think it looks cool. But off we go. So, set maneuver node. We need to do an orbit. We need to get to the Mun, and once we're at the Mun, we just have to fiddle around until we can get a rendezvous. Alright? So there's a lot of stages that we could mess this up, but we've done all of this before, more or less. You know, we've done rendezvous once. That's going to be the hard part. But we've orbited Kerbal countless times at this point. We have... This rocket is tipping. Stop. Stop. Why it is not responding to my controls? What are you doing, rocket? And we're not even burning the right direction. What's going on? You don't usually do this. Turn the light on. Okay, that's a little spooky. I don't love that. Clear those. Okay, now we're just going straight up. I do not know what that was about. That's gonna make our job out here that much harder to do. It's quiet, too. What's going on? It's very quiet. Like, I can vaguely hear the rocket. Is this picking up okay? Well, I'm picking up okay. Now, clearly I'm tabbed out. So, you know... I don't know. I mean, I know I keep Kerbals pretty low. It's just the rocket's quieter than I expected. Huh. Well, so it goes. We're in the upper atmosphere now, so we're not going to spin out from attempting the very extreme angle on this burn. Like, that's just so faint. Maybe I should turn the volume up a little teeny bit. Shrugging. Scratching my head. I don't know. It's doing something. The craft seems unusually responsive, too. Maybe that's the result of Jeb's level? Something's weird. Something's very strange. Okay. We can probably afford to get a bit closer to our apoapsis. Get a nice even burn here. Okay, well now we have the music at least, which makes everything feel a little bit better. Really, something feels up. Just hold prograde for me. Get a little closer to the apoapsis now. Make a nice circular orbit. Nice and clean. I'm getting better at this, jeez. Who would have thunk that if you do this a lot, you might actually get better? Yeah, why is it turning like that? Weird. Concerning. But that's a circular orbit, more or less. Very good stuff. Cool. To the mud. Thereabouts. That looks about right to me. Alrighty. Let's go forward to... Oh, well, we're about to be at that node, actually. Never mind, I don't have to warp very much at all. I can do that manually. Get lined up. Get lined up and ready to burn. That'll do. That'll do. And with that, off we go. So we've got some experiments to do up here, actually. I probably didn't need to bring like the full suite, but this is going to let us do the Science Junior experiments when we arrive. That'll be cool. Probably run those once we do the rendezvous. Just one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. And there we are. Of course, number one concern, let's just get our orbit done now. Ugh, that's gonna be a little complicated, isn't it? Here, warp forward just a little bit more. And go retrograde. That's an awkward angle. Maybe that'll help. Probably not. It'll probably just make this much harder than it needs to be. But that's okay. It's like... How did this happen? I don't know. I'm not all too sure, actually. Alright. Let's set a target. even sure how to begin evaluating this mess. I'm not sure. Oh goodness. Well, like somewhere around here, you probably have to start correcting, don't you? Other way. Right? Like a correction burn. Then we end up being on like opposite sides of everything. And that's not so cool.